Hey, edgelords, thanks so much for tuning in on your internet tuner. We want you to hit subscribe. Isn't that right, Robbie?
That's right. That way you'll get the episodes as they come out every single Wednesday.
You need it, and you want it.
I feel it pulsing through me.
Like
It's making me move because it's time for the edgelords. So what did you not like about it?
Now I know what it's like when you come, and I don't like that.
How did it take you this long to figure out what it's like when I come?
Months, almost a year.
Too long, I would say. How are you, Grammy?
I'm very good.
You look very good.
Thank you very much.
You sound good.
I'm tired.
Uh-huh.
I'm hungover.
Yes.
But it's only because my life is good and I'm having fun.
Those are the best reasons to be tired and hungover.
Can't complain.
Yes.
I feel like this is like an era in my life where I have nothing to complain about.
Well, let's find something.
And
Certainly your parents weren't always great to you.
No.
Surely your career is not where you want it to be.
No.
Other comics are doing much better than you.
Yeah.
Some of them are younger,
Yeah.
not as good looking, less talented even.
Yeah. That's true. They have hit podcasts.
Hit podcasts, yes.
Well, good point. But I have been on the road a lot, and that's given me a good sense of accomplishment.
You have been. Are you working on a new hour?
I'm working on a new hour. I have to do an hour of new material this week at Rumors Comedy Club in Winnipeg, Manitoba. This will probably not be released until a week after that, but that's okay. There's plenty of other ways to catch me at grahamk.com. I'm going to be touring all over America and hopefully a lot in Canada in 2022. Anyway, the point is I have to do a full hour of new stuff that I have not done before at the club.
Okay.
And
you have that hour locked and loaded, ready to go?
I do not.
Okay.
I have 40 minutes.
Okay.
So
crowd work time, baby.
Yes.
Where are you from?
Yes.
What do you do?
And I'm not looking forward to that. But I got to do crowd work, and I got to work on, and I just got to really bomb in the middle.
Yeah.
Working on new stuff.
But that's how it works. That's the fun part about headlining. I mean, not bombing, but having the time to stretch and work on new stuff.
I guess so.
Build out the new hour.
I guess so.
Yeah.
But then you might really lose them. Anyway, I'm excited for that.
Yeah. This is a very special episode of the Edgelords.
Why is that?
Well, because we've had a last minute cancellation.
Yes.
Of a guest.
Yes.
No time to replace that guest.
Twice canceled on us.
And our schedules are very hectic coming up. So we don't have time to just push it and we'll record tomorrow or whatever. So we're doing a special, just the Edgelords episode of the Edgelords.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one's going to water us down.
So, which is nice because I feel like we don't always get the chance to talk, you and I. We come in here, we do our business.
And I leave
we go
right
our
away.
Separate ways, and I prefer it that way.
Yeah.
So I figure now let's maybe catch up a little bit on how the last few weeks have been.
Who are you?
Well, I host a podcast with you.
Oh.
It's called Edgelords.
Good.
Please rate and review.
Please, or I'll fucking
Have
kill
you rated
myself.
and reviewed the podcast?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know. I have, definitely.
I've clicked 5 stars. I don't think I've written a review for us.
I don't know if I've written
That seems
I
like
think
it's
I may
a
have
little
been
bit
like
too much of an inside deal.
I may have been like, I love my podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Or something like that. Or
Yeah. Well, thank you for your review.
I like the hosts.
I like me on there.
Yeah.
I am good.
Is it weird that Graham makes me hard?
Posted by Graham Kay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although there are some comments about you making the fans very horny.
There are?
They find you irresistible. And it's with the glasses. I think it's the glasses that do it for them. There we go. Put those back on. Oh, yep. No, I don't think that's the look that they need.
Anywho.
Yes. But we haven't caught up. I really, since I was in Mexico for
you were in
a few
Mexico.
days.
You went on your honeymoon just in time for the hurricane.
I did. I flew.
It was so funny.
Into a hurricane and flew back into a hurricane.
Oh, the same one?
No, different one. Henry and whichever came after Henry.
Ida?
Yeah, or no, maybe I flew into whatever came before Henry and I flew back into Henry. That's what it was.
Man, it is so funny that this guy, him and Casey had their
flew
honeymoon.
into Grace, back into Henry. That's what it was.
Yeah.
But so the first day was weird, and
Instagram stories were hilarious. It was just like the palm trees you don't want to see.
Yes, it was a fucking hurricane. We're in a hurricane, and then you're
at
surrounded
a $5 resort
by like tourists who are like, because so in Mexico it's like law in the country, if a hurricane hits, they won't serve alcohol to anyone, and this is like a resort. There's nothing to do. People just want to get drunk, and they won't let you. So there's a lot of people there who are just like, well, this is outrageous. And they're like, they're angry and they're like yelling at people. But it's like, you are in a big cement resort right now. And the person you're yelling at, like, they have a house out in Mexico in this hurricane.
Yeah.
This is turning their life upside down. And you're here being like, I just want a goddamn beer. I flew to another country and I expect a beer. And like you're tiny bit sympathize with them, but you're like, this person's kind of going through something. If you could just kind of be a bit understanding for the day.
That drive me nuts. Did you say anything?
I was just like, I would like a drink too, please.
Yeah.
But I'll be cool about it.
Yeah.
No. I just like, it's
give
just
me
one of
a
those
drink.
Things. Yeah. I demand it. It's my right.
When are you going to finish that wall?
But then
we were told you would build the wall.
You would build it and pay for it, but I'll settle for a drink.
One Budweiser.
I have, I've lost my ability, I feel, to just be around like regular people who go on vacations to some degree. We were trying to be social with people, we were bored, so we sat down with a group of people. They were all from different places, and here's how like out of touch I've become with just regular interactions. I was trying to be friendly. So it's like, oh, where are you guys from? And this guy was like, well, I'm from Wisconsin, and they're from Idaho, and she's from West Virginia. And I said, oh, cool. And he's like, oh, so here's how you can remember. Like, so think cheese, potatoes. And then he pointed to the lady from West Virginia, and he goes, and he paused for he couldn't think of anything. And I go, OxyContin?
Really?
Yes. And nobody even cracked a smile. Nobody laughed. Nobody cracked a smile. It was just full on silence.
Were they horrified?
I don't know if they were horrified, but they were just like, come on, man. Did
they get it?
They must have.
Do they know what OxyContin is?
Of course, they're Americans, for God's sake.
Yeah.
They know what OxyContin is.
Yeah.
Well, then it turns out that like this lady's husband he wasn't there, is this like super conservative West Virginia sheriff.
Yeah.
Who's like crazy. There's like, pictures of him online. Like he's like an older man, but he just likes to play sheriff, like kicking down doors with a rifle type of thing. So probably not the best sense of humor about OxyContin. I would guess. But anyway, just a full on bomb. And I was like, okay.
Makes me so happy.
Nice to meet everybody.
Yeah. And they're like, all right, New York.
The other thing I learned.
Jewish.
Yeah, for sure. They could smell that on me. Other thing I learned about Mexico. So filled with pharmacies for tourists because they just sell everything.
That's right.
Every like pharmacy you walk by is like, we sell anabolic steroids. We sell Viagra.
Can you get OxyContin?
And you probably can actually. But yeah, it was just every there's like steroids, Viagra. I was like, I'm coming back to America strong and hard.
Yeah.
And that's
hard
the way I'm
everywhere.
gonna live my life.
Yeah.
But I did buy some Mexican Viagra.
Did you?
Yeah.
How'd that go?
Well, I was just it was Casey and I were there, and we had some morbid curiosity about Viagra, and so I bought one. I tried to buy one. They wouldn't sell me one. I bought 40. For $40. That was the least I could buy. So I have 39 if you would like 39 of them.
I'm okay.
You don't want 39 Viagra?
I'm okay for the next year or two, I feel.
What if we each take 20 on the pod?
Yeah, because a lot of people have podcasts where they take drugs and see what happens.
Yeah, so we can do them.
We'll just get hard.
Rock hard pod.
Just two
guys rock hard doing a podcast.
Doesn't really change the podcast.
I bet it would. We have
a lot of adjusting our pants.
Well, we already have so much tea.
Yeah.
Well, so this is the thing. I took one, and it is bizarre. It is just weird because what it does is like you take it, and then an hour later, you get a completely unearned, nothing to do with anything hard on, just out of nowhere. It just
like
goes,
a 13-year-old, 14-year-old hard.
Totally. It just kind of out of nowhere and it's just like kaboom. And then But then you decide, then it's very normal. You either like handle it the way you do and it goes away that way, or you just kind of ignore it and it goes away that way. It doesn't seem like some magic, like now you're going to be hard for 11 hours type of thing. It just makes your dick get hard once and then you do whatever you do with it. So anyway, I have 39 of those. If anyone wants to message me on Instagram.
That's a pretty good, that should be the ad.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it just kind of makes your dick
hard
in a pretty regular type of way.
Viagra. It just kind of makes your dick hard.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. And yeah, so now I literally have a lot of them now. I try to give them away to people. I literally, and people are very like, I don't need that, bro. And I'm like, I know, but you just aren't you curious? Aren't you curious? You get a weird medical hard on.
Well, I'm worried that if like I start, then it's gonna like break something in my brain where I'm gonna need it.
I don't
like just mentally
think so. It's like being like, oh, I have a headache, but I shouldn't take Tylenol because then I'll always need Tylenol. It's like
it's a mental thing.
I could see that, but I was just purely like out of curiosity, and it just makes your dick hard, and then that's it. I'm not like from this one time. This is the only way I'll ever be able to get hard again. Like I was just like, oh, this is weird.
Okay, well, I'll take 39 at once.
Yes, now we're partying.
Just to see.
Yeah.
For curiosity.
You did some traveling as well.
I did do some traveling. Now, I'm going back and forth between Canada a lot.
Yeah.
And just working the road. And I also I brought my girlfriend home to Canada recently.
Her first time meeting your parents?
First time being in Canada, first time meeting my parents.
Whoa.
Everything.
That's a twofer.
And prior to that, I was
Did you take her to the giant statue of Jason Priestley in Saskatoon?
I did.
Oh, yes. Good. Yes.
I did.
That's good. That's important.
It was right beside K.D. Lang.
Oh, yeah.
On the top of the Winnipeg legislature.
Yes. Yeah. The Corey Hart Memorial Winnipeg legislature.
In Ottawa, it's the nation's capital, of course.
Oh, yes.
And you know how you have that sort of big statue of Lincoln?
Yes.
We have one with Alanis Morissette. A big giant marble statue of Alanis Morissette sitting in a chair.
Year, every Canadian must make a pilgrimage to it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But anyway, so I went to Canada, but prior to that, so you have to get a COVID test in order to cross the border, and the COVID test has to be within 72 hours. Okay, and you have to have a negative COVID test, preferably negative.
Okay.
So I'm in Denver, and I'm going to fly out the following day with Julia to go to Canada.
Okay. Yes.
So I should have had a day. I should have had a day, but what happened was the hurricane came and my flight I got two flights got canceled in Denver, so I'm stuck in Denver for an extra day.
What was this, Ida? We're all getting fucked by hurricanes.
This
is not a great sign for the world, though.
No,
every flight story has been ruined by a hurricane or a wildfire
Right. So I'm stuck in Denver for an extra day.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, well, I have to get a COVID test here.
Yeah.
And I should have got a COVID test the day before, but I decided to go for brunch with a bunch of comics and walk around and drink coffee and go to like knick-knack stores and whatever.
Yeah, we've all felt the allure of brunch. Brunch has pulled us away from our responsibilities before. Can I just have a quick side note real quick? I do want to finish this story that's taking a little bit too long, but I think
Should I speed it up?
Well, it's just that there's a lot of specificity to your word choice. You're doing a bit of a William Shatner thing, I think, but I think we'll get to the end of the story. But there's a new Nas album out. And it's a good album, especially if you like Nas. But there's one track on this Nas album. It's called like Brunch on Sunday, and it is the most embarrassing song I've ever heard in my life. You a Nas fan?
Yeah.
Illmatic.
I mean, who doesn't like Illmatic?
People get to grow up. You don't have to still be like some young gangster guy. In fact, that's not the life I want for him. But This is a whole track about how much he enjoys brunch on Sunday with his friends. And it's literally like the first line is like, Bellini's with the boys, hashtagging Sunday Fun Day.
No.
Like, I swear to God, hashtagging Sunday Fun Day is in the song. And you're like, what happened to you? Like, I don't want you to be some young, like, thug, but like, come on, man, have some self-respect. And then so much of the lyrics, you're just like, normal guy. Shit, he's just like, like, my man's Dave came by. He brought his son. I love to see people in happy families. And you're like, what the fuck is this song?
Anyway, that's hilarious. We should play that at the end of the podcast. But I'll speed up the story. So anyway, I'm like stuck. I'm way late. I'm like, I gotta like get a COVID test. I figure it's gonna be like New York, where everything is 24 hours and it's free.
Yeah.
It's Sunday. I can't find a COVID test anywhere. Everything is closed. The only COVID test I could find is $180, and it comes back within 48 hours, which means I won't have it back in time.
Right.
To make my flight and go back to Canada. The whole trip is canceled. If I don't get this COVID test.
Yes, you gotta get.
So I gotta get a COVID test. So I'm like. I go to a clinic, I take some random test, and they feel sorry for me, and then they're like, they help me find this like service that will come to your house, and you get like a results within 10 hours.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, the next appointment I can get is the day I fly out. So hopefully they. Like and this window is between 8 a.m. and noon.
Okay.
And I fly at 1.
Oh, okay. That's
and they say
intense.
they're often late.
Okay.
So I basically, if they come late, I still need to take the test. So I have to wait for them, even if they're late, miss my flight, buy a new flight for $600.
Jesus. Yeah.
That's what I'm dealing with.
Brutal.
And so I like make this appointment. I'm supposed to meet friends for a Rockies game, Colorado Rockies baseball game, and I'm like 2 hours late. I show up, because all this COVID shit took so long. I didn't realize it was gonna be. I thought it'd be like New York, and it's not, in Denver. And so I show up late to the Rockies game. I'm texting my girl. I call my girlfriend, but it's like loud in the rotunda.
Yeah.
She can't really hear what I'm saying, and I tell her all that.
And
anyway, I sit down, and then she's like, "What are you?" She's like texting me while I'm sitting down. She's like, "I really think, like the only test you can get is a drive-through in the suburbs.
Okay.
Like a free test.
Yeah.
At a Walgreens.
Okay.
And I told her, like, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this." And by the way, the test that I ordered was $250.
Okay.
So I have to pay for that.
So you're out. Yeah.
$250. And then she's like, what are you going to do? I really think you should go to the Walgreens as a backup.
Yeah.
Because it could be 24 hours.
I get that. That makes sense.
And so I'm like, fuck. So I book an appointment on my phone while I'm at the baseball game.
Yeah.
And for this Walgreens, I find one that's at like 5:15 or whatever.
Okay.
Which is like, I have to leave now.
You gotta leave the game. Yeah.
I'm at the game for maybe 45 minutes. I spend the whole time on my phone booking a Walgreens appointment.
Yeah.
I take a screen grab of the final page.
Okay.
So I have it ready.
Okay. This seems like foreshadowing that
and then I say, bye guys.
Uh-huh.
I spent $42 on the ticket, by the way.
Okay.
And then
you're out like $350 at this point.
And then I rent because it's drive-through, and I need a car to go through the drive-through.
Jesus Christ.
So I rent a electric e-bike.
Yeah, I wish we had like a counter,
yes,
as the money goes up on this story. Okay.
An electric e-bike, and I bike all the way to the suburbs.
Yeah.
Into the Walgreens. I make it in time. I realize that there is a line of cars. And I wait in line in a hot asphalt, no cover, sunny day on an e-bike for an hour.
Okay.
An hour.
Yeah.
I'm paying for the e-bike the whole time.
Sure.
I get to the front of the line.
Clock's running up.
Yeah. I get to the front of the line. She goes, 1 second, leaves for 10 minutes, comes back. She goes, can I help you? I go, I'm here for a COVID test. She goes, what's your name? Can't find my name. Other lady comes, can't find my name. And then they go, do you have your number? I look at the screenshot, and it says, the screen grab I took was click here to finalize.
No.
So I didn't do it.
You didn't finalize it.
And my phone is on now my phone is on 2%. and I don't know how to get back to my thing.
Yes.
So I look quickly. I look at the map. Okay, I can get back.
This is a Graham K story if I ever heard one. Yeah.
And then I call my girlfriend. And I go, I'm an idiot. Blah, blah, blah. She's like, yeah, it's okay. What are you gonna do? I go, well, I do have a test that's guaranteed tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, she's like, you have a guaranteed test? I go, yeah. She goes, then why'd you go to Walgreens?
She didn't hear you the first time. Oh my God. Oh, I hate everything about this story. This is one of the worst stories I've ever heard.
Yeah.
But tell me, like the Walgreens lady wasn't like, well, you're here, I'm here, we're talking. I'm
That's
just
what
gonna
I
give
said.
you the test.
But she's like, no, the lab needs all your information. You need to fill out the form. We don't have forms here. It's all online. And now we're closed. And I didn't even need the test anyway. I just got peer pressured from my girlfriend. I should have just fought back. I'm at the game. I remember thinking, I figured it out. Fine. I have to pay the idiot tax.
Yeah.
If you have to buy a new flight for $600 plus the $250. So I ended up. They came early. Everything was fine. It would only cost me $250. I made my flight in plenty of time.
Okay.
Whatever. Anyway, I have to get another COVID test because going back to Canada. Same exact situation. Only this time I was in Raleigh, North Carolina, yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm like, well, I don't want the same thing to happen.
Yeah.
So I'm going to, on Saturday, instead of going to brunch and fucking around, and I had an offer to go to brunch, I turned it down.
You get invited to brunch in every city you're in.
I make friends.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'm going to go to this COVID test. So I take an Uber out to this COVID test. I realized that I'm an hour early because it has to be within a 72-hour window, and my flight is tomorrow on Tuesday.
Okay.
And this is Saturday.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm there. It would have been 73 hours.
So you had to wait an hour. Yeah.
So I'm like, I just took a test there.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, wait, it actually doesn't matter. So and they're like, well, you can come back. Who cares? It's free.
Yeah.
Come back. So I went for a walk, whatever. Came back an hour and a half later, took a test. Went back, whatever. I'm having a great day.
It would be a very like on top of their job airport person who was going to look and be like, this is actually 73 hours. I feel
true.
like they don't look that closely.
I know, but it's also, why risk it?
Sure.
That would be in my head.
I get it.
And they
I
could.
I risk
could do it.
I live my life on the edge.
But this is like a border guard during the time of COVID, a Canadian border guard. Like they're nuts.
Canadian border guard is different.
It's Canadian border guard. So it's like, this is to get into a country, and you have to upload your form to a website, and then it would flag it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So okay,
you're screwed.
I give you that.
So anyway, I'm like, I like. So now I've taken 2 tests. Whatever. I go back. Yada yada. Having a great day. I text my girlfriend. Oh, I got a great day planned. We're like walking around, and then I go to like a pool party.
Okay.
I'm like kissing a baby at the pool party.
Sure.
I'm like shaking hands with all these
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
Literally
breaking a lot of the COVID rules here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, have the baby.
You
I'm like,
took the baby.
I didn't even say, they offered it to me, and I went like, boop, boop, and
Yeah.
Anyway, hanging around, meet all these people.
How did you kiss the baby again?
Boop, boop. Okay. And then they like it.
Okay.
And then so I'm sitting at my desk.
Yes.
Flash forward, had a shower. I'm in my hotel room, getting ready to go do my show for the evening. And I get a text on my phone saying your COVID results are already ready.
Yeah.
I go, oh, great. I click on it. Positive. I have COVID, it says.
What?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, fuck. That's the first test.
Okay.
I'm like, fuck. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Kissing a baby.
You're kissing babies, you're shaking hands, you're out there, you're at swimming pools, you're doing shows.
I got a show tonight, and I'm like, if I don't do the show, I won't get my money.
Uh-huh.
And then also, if I'm positive, I have to get an Airbnb for 10 days in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Quarantine.
Cancel my next weekend of shows.
Yeah, it's a huge swing.
This is like a
financially.
$3,500 swing in my finances.
Yes.
And I'm like, I feel fine.
Yeah.
I've had a false positive before.
So we think this is a false positive. At this point, we think this is a false positive.
I'm hoping, and I know I have another test, and I'm like, I'm going to pack up for the show.
Yeah.
The next results should be coming in within the next hour and a half.
Yeah.
Because I took my second test an hour and a half later. I'm going to wear a mask. I'm going to walk to the show, and I am going to I should be getting in my test while
you're arriving,
while the opener is on.
Okay.
And I'll just sit in the back and act weird and not talk to anybody.
High stakes. Yeah.
So I'm like sitting in the back of the room I'm like double mask, sitting in the back, I haven't talked to anybody. I'm not within 10 feet of anybody.
Yeah.
And they're probably all wondering why I'm weird.
Uh-huh.
And
you know what? I can tell you, they're not. If they met you at all, they're like, oh, Graham's just being Graham.
Yeah.
Graham's just being himself.
They're like, hi. And I'm like, okay, well, if the second one comes back and it's positive, I will have to go to the host and be like, you got to get the headliner downstairs to come up here and finish this show because I got to go.
Yeah.
And like literally there was like an old man, like even there was no way I was going to do that show. An old man with a seeing eye dog.
Yeah, you would have killed that man.
Walked in the front and sat right in front of the stage.
Yeah,
I was like, this is
I cannot do this.
I cannot do this show. And so my phone buzzes, negative.
Amazing. Yeah.
It's like the biggest relief of my life.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's the second time I've got a false positive. The other time I was like Airbnb-ing in Canada, waiting to meet my parents. And I was just going to have to extend my Airbnb another 10 days, then go home without seeing them.
That's weird that you've got 2 false positives.
Yeah.
That's
for PCR tests. These aren't rapid tests.
Yeah, those shouldn't be. Yeah. Although I definitely know some people who've gotten some false positives. And that the people are everyone because it's a hoax.
Oh, yeah.
It's a hoax. It's a lie. A lot of crisis actors. A lot of people faking their deaths.
Yes. The whole world, yes. Every blue state is crisis actors. Did you know that?
I did know that.
Yes.
Yeah. That's why all of the drama people, they're all liberals and they move to these states so they can live out their dream of
being pedophile crisis actors.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Which brings us to our ad.
Yes, it does. Very seamless, Graham. Very nice. Yes, this is a new business vertical for us. This is the education vertical. We haven't had a sponsor from
vertical
education before. Yes. Kick us off with this who this company is.
All right,
since you are the one who locked them down for us.
I did lock it down. They're in my circles. They're on my message board, so I was aware of them in the dark net.
Yes.
So this is for Righteous Truth Learning Supplies.
That's right. Righteous Truth Remote Learning Supplies for all your anti-globalist homeschool needs.
Don't let the government brainwash your kids. That's our job.
That's right. And Righteous Truth sells
flat earth globes,
textbooks with full chapters missing,
history books that begin with the end of slavery,
biology books that highlight the power of horse medicine,
home ec, how to 3D print an AR-15,
Spanish class curriculum that consists entirely of yelling, "This is America, learn English."
Special guest lectures, like Joe Rogan episodes that were removed from Spotify.
Economics textbooks with 1 chapter, trickle-down economics.
I like that one.
Uh-huh.
So order today and prepare your children for prime gig economy jobs and arguments on Reddit.
Yes, use promo code MyTeacherIsDaddy for 0% off because there are no handouts in America.
Not in my America.
That's right.
My president, not my president, not my America.
Wow. Yeah, exactly. And that's the type of jargon you learn from Righteous Truth Remote Learning Supplies.
It's right. And I have that tattooed above my navel.
Oh, wow.
Like Tupac.
Not my president, not my America.
Yeah. It might not make sense.
It doesn't need to for people to understand.
That's
what
right.
You mean.
In a few years, it might not make sense.
Yeah. Well, it will still, the essence of it will always be true. Mm-hmm. Because whoever the president is, if they're not your president, they're not.
Oh, but they will be. Who's that lady who believes Jewish lasers started first?
Marjorie Taylor Greene?
That's going to be my president.
Yeah, she will definitely be your president for sure. You'll make that happen.
Yeah. She's got a lot of tea like us.
She's a lot of tea.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the Marjorie T. Green. Marjorie Testosterone Green. Well, look, I know that we don't have a guest, but there's something I'd still like to do.
What's that?
I've got a
scalding hot take.
Holy fuck, really?
Yeah.
Burn me, daddy.
Well, let's hear it.
This one's scalding hot.
Okay.
I think, and bear with me here, because I might lose you with the heat of this one, but I think that we should just allow people's legacies to be complicated. You know, I feel like everyone's like, oh, people will like share something about like Susan B. Anthony was a hero, and then other people will be like, she was racist and blah, 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 so she should never be anything. And it's like, she's complicated. People are complicated.
Yeah, Hitler.
You can kind of like, less so. Less
He invented the
complicated.
Beetle.
He did what?
The VW Beetle.
He invented it? He
Yeah,
drew it?
it's got to even out some stuff.
Yeah, for sure. It's a
Yeah.
cool car. Cool car. Cool dude.
He helped design it. That's what he said anyway.
To
But
who?
usually supreme leaders don't lie.
Did he
so
say
I
that
believe
in
it.
defense of himself? Where people are like, Adolf, you're kind of doing some crazy shit. And he's like,
I invented the Beetle.
I mean, it's a cool car that people like. It's a very chill car.
Yeah, it's ironically will be a symbol of the love, the love and peace era.
It's the peace movement. Yeah, so I just think I'm just like all of the look, I just think we should be honest about who people were. So it's like they did shitty stuff, but they also did good stuff. The shitty stuff doesn't erase the good stuff, and the good stuff doesn't erase the shitty stuff. But let's just let people have complicated legacies rather than being like, no, we can never say that whoever Susan B. Anthony did a good thing or whatever.
Right. So this is a real take.
Yes.
Okay.
This is a real
I
take.
was waiting for the joke.
No, there's no
But
joke.
it's just,
I'm seeing like
yeah.
more and more of it. Of like, I forgot the one that made me think of this because it wasn't the Susan B. Anthony one is just like one that I remembered.
Yeah,
but like,
yeah.
there was one I saw recently where I was like, come on, like this person, like they suck, but like they're also
Everybody
also
has
good
done
stuff.
something wrong.
Not me.
And I just think that we are progressing to a point in society where we are realizing that we are coming to a realization that there are no heroes, infallible heroes.
Yes.
Martin Luther King cheated on his wife rampantly, and you know what? The bad part is, he did all that BLM stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, we support his rampant cheating on his wife. Yeah, but that is also like one of those things people bring up, and it's like no one gives a shit about that stuff. That was just no one would know if the FBI wasn't fucking tapping his every move.
Right.
Yeah, and just kind of watching him plow other chicks. But that's classic FBI stuff.
They're
for
good
ya.
people.
They're good folks. They're good folks over
yeah.
there. They let you know when someone's cheating on their wife if they don't like that person.
And if they really don't like you, they blow your head off.
They kill you like
Yeah,
they
they-
did to Martin Luther King.
You think they did that?
Yes.
You think so?
I think America killed Martin Luther King.
Wow. They definitely killed.
I guess that's more of a
George.
scalding hot take than the last
Yeah,
one.
it's a real scalding hot take.
But I believe it.
They killed George Hampton. We know that.
Yeah. No, they kill people that they think are a problem. And those guys are problems for them.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Makes me sad.
It's pretty sad. You got a hot take for us?
I mean, my hot take is not going to be as hot as
Not as hot as we killed Martin Luther King.
my hot take is I finally realized I cannot quit comedy because it's been too long since I had a real job.
Oh, sure.
I literally just learned what Slack was like not too long ago.
Yeah.
And people are like Slack, and I was like hanging out with like people with real jobs,
Right.
and they just couldn't believe that I had never heard of
Yes.
Slack.
You're lucky to not have heard of it. I use it in I've used it in writing jobs. It's pretty like popular in those now. So I feel like, and those are a little more fun because it's like a lot of like
Zingers.
funny people, but like still there's always anything that's like made for business communication sucks and it's annoying and I hate it. There's Slack, Microsoft Teams. That's another one that's getting big use. And I think those are the two big ones, but both of them super annoying.
I am unhireable. I've realized. I have no skills.
Yes.
I'm too old to be like a waiter anymore.
Right.
My back hurts. I'm standing. I can't stand for 8 hours anymore. And
I could still be hired as I could still like push my way into recruiting, but I also just like, I can't do it anymore. I cannot. I would rather my life fall apart, like my marriage, lose everything I had. Like I cannot fucking be a recruiter again. I can't do it. I did it for almost 10 years and I hated every single minute.
Wow. I remember when I had an office job and my mom got me an office job through nepotism for my summer jobs.
Yeah.
And that's how I paid for a lot of my university. So I had to do it. And I just remember shouting up to my mom, "Mom, if I have, I want to kill myself." Like I meant it.
Yeah.
I was like, that
means it's working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I remember thinking like, oh, I don't have the constitution institution. I'm very bad at it.
You're not built like
Yeah.
I can't stand being there, but I've kind of learned how to do it. Like I think like the fact that like you're a guy who will show up at a CVS across town with a screenshot that says click to finalize, which is like, that's all you need to know about your ability to work in an office. Like you are not meant to do that. Yeah. I can go through the motions, but I was a bad employee because I just didn't care. And that's so much of work. It's like pretending to really give a shit about the job, being like, oh, this is important to me to maximize our problem. And I can't, that's the part I can no longer do. But I can like do the actual minimum of the job. But I just don't ever want to ever again.
Yeah. Also, the last office job I had, which was after university, the lady sitting beside me got a BlackBerry. And we all crowded around because we couldn't believe she had the internet on her phone.
Yes. Yeah.
That's like fucking long ago.
So amazing. Yeah. Well, good for you.
And there was a special computer for Skype.
That's so great.
You'd have to go to the computer and Skype people.
The Skype computer. That's amazing that you managed to stay. I mean, that's fantastic. That's great. You've achieved the dream of being unhireable. Like that's great. That means you've done well. Well, I think have we done an episode here?
I think there's bits and parts that are good.
Yeah, well, it's all going out there. I'm not editing this one. This one is going to live out there. You're going to see.
I feel like my story was too long.
It was very long.
Was it?
Oh yeah, and and it mirrored itself. It was like very long and kind of the same story twice, but that's fine. The people want to get to know you, Graham. They want to know
I think
what
it's
you're
a good
all about.
story.
Do you? If you really sit and think about it? No. Look, we got screwed over. We had someone cancel on us twice, last minute cancellation. We're still here giving the people what they demand, which is little Graham and Robby together.
Well, here's a little story. Last night I was drunk and a lady kept telling me like about how she doesn't like to hear this person works at a comedy club that I work at. And they were like, I get triggered when I hear about, she was speaking to another comedian. And she was like, I get triggered when I hear about suicide.
Yeah.
And we were both very sympathetic, and I understand that. And my friend I was with was like, hey, I won't do that one joke I do when I see you're there because I don't want you to feel bad.
Yeah.
And she showed us like her wrist, and she had like, but I couldn't see it because I don't have the greatest eyesight.
Okay.
I thought she was showing us her tattoos. And I was like, cool.
Those are sick.
I said, cool. And then I looked at my phone and realized the subway was leaving in 7 minutes, and it was like 5 a.m.
Yeah.
So I just ran away.
Cool suicide scar. See you later.
I woke up this next morning. I was like, oh man, when I see this person, I'm gonna be like, hey, I'm so sorry.
So how did you played it back in your head? What happened, and you realized afterwards?
Yeah, I just was like the worst guy in the world.
Well, that is truly amazing. God bless you. And this is why the people love you, Graham.
I guess
this is why the fans have clung on to you. Do you have anything to promote?
Yes, I'm going to be on the road a lot. I'm going to be in Louisville, Kentucky. I'm going to be in...
Are you going to be at a Caravan Comedy Club? Where are you going to be in Louisville?
I'm going to be at Planet of the Tapes.
Planet of the Tapes?
It's a cool new venue.
Sweet. I've never heard of it.
It's like an indie movie venue. And then I'm also going to be in St. Louis.
Okay.
The Helium Comedy Club. And I'm going to be in, what's the one below Vancouver? Seattle in November for a week. Check me out, GrahamK.com. And I'm going to be opening for Nate Bargatze a lot on his tour. So GrahamK.com.
Well, I know we got a lot of Seattle listeners to the pod. So
we got a few.
Go out, check out Graham. I'm just working away on this TV show. It comes out September 30th.
So excited, dude.
So check out The Problem with Jon Stewart on Apple TV Plus. September 30th. There's also a companion podcast, but if you're going to listen to any podcast, I'd listen to this one. And rate and review this one, please. And then I'm always doing sets around the city. If you're in New York, just get me on Instagram. I'm usually sharing, wherever I'm doing shows, and on Twitter as well. And I think we can just tell the people what we tell them every week, Graham. Fuck you!